I'm back. I'm back, guys. What's good? So, I've been gone for a long time. Not too long, actually, but a good amount of time, right? So, we'll do a quick recap of my YouTube channel. I talk about a lot of different things, career-wise, entrepreneur-wise, investing, building a life, some advice. I don't know who I think I am to give advice to people, but for some reason, I decided to create this YouTube channel to share and express myself. So I don't want it to be weird, actually. This time around, I kind of want to be more authentic, be more genuine. So we're going to take a stab at this, right? We're going to try to be back. No pretends, no BS. You know, I'm actually looking over here because I have my screen here. I took some notes about things I want to talk about today. So I'll share a little bit about that. So basically, this is my opportunity to start over at zero. This is an opportunity to start fresh, blank slate. But, you know, it's not really starting from zero, like more like 0.1, but nonetheless, starting from scratch, right? So everything's going to be fresh, hopefully. That's the idea. So I'm back. I am back. I will talk about a lot of things on this channel again. I'm not quite sure exactly, but I think, you know, I'll talk more about stuff in like as the video goes along, but it'll be related to things I did in the past, but more focused on the future, right? Of course, like where I'm headed today as a person, you know, career-wise, life-wise, just things I'm thinking about. So you guys will get to be a part of that journey if you want to. No one puts a gun to your head to be here, but I do appreciate, you know, hearing from people, having a community of people to support. So I look forward to more of that, you know, engaging with more of you guys, making new friends, making new business partners, you know, all that good stuff. So if you're here, I'll see you soon. So anyway, okay, let's get straight into it, right? Let's cut out the crap. So I left my job about a couple months ago, 5 months ago, let's say, and it's been quite the journey. You know, I worked at Microsoft for 5 years, you could say, since 2020, and you know, left in June 2025. So about 5 years of a good amount of time learning how to be an engineer. Worked in product management. I have a video on my channel somewhere about like how to get an internship in big tech and all that stuff. So yeah, you know, currently a free agent, you know, like many other people. Everyone kind of knows the job market's crazy. The entire market is crazy, honestly, not just the job market. You know, it's hard to get a job, internship. It's hard to keep a job. It's hard to build a company. It's hard to get customers for your company, right? Everything's hard. You just got to choose your heart, right? That's the world we live in. So, you know, now I'm kind of back to zero. You know, I've got to figure out like what I'm going to do next. I have ideas of things I want to try, you know, and this is one good way to ground me. It's going to give me that, you know, the foundation of, you know, people with similar interests. I can get to talk about the things I think about, the things I like, the things I want to explore, and I get to bounce back ideas with other people. So this is a good opportunity for me to like, you know, put things out there in the world and see how people respond to it and get feedback and iterate and continue going, right? So I'm actually excited to, you know, get my YouTube channel back and be around people that have similar mindsets, similar interests, similar thoughts, and also people that might have different thoughts and different, you know, mindsets, and just get that conversation going. So let's see how it goes, right? So, you know, what was I doing in the past couple months? So while I was away, after my job, I left my job, I actually was traveling a good amount. So I went to 13 countries in the last 3 months. So it was kind of a hectic experience. But it was also a lot of fun. So I think I've challenged myself a lot, and just like random challenge, right? Like not really like in a way that I usually would think about it in the past. Like, you know, I never really did stuff like that, but I try to grow as a person, went to new places, went to hike a lot to a lot of different mountains. I'll probably throw some clips in there to show like kind of like what that experience looked like. So I did a lot of things I usually didn't do before, put myself around a lot of people I've never been with before, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. I've never been to those countries before. And a lot of people actually haven't been to those countries before. I know my family and my friends are kind of like, yo, like, where are you going? What is that? I was living in a yurt for a lot of times. I was living in tents, right? So it wasn't like my typical day to day. It was very, very different. But I enjoyed it a lot. It kind of challenged me to be different, put me in an environment where I was a little bit uncomfortable, but I had to figure it out. And it kind of showed me and taught me that, you know, life could be like that, right? Like it goes like in waves. And sometimes you can't really control like things, but you kind of have to let go and, you know, but still, you know, try to be purposeful about the way you go about things and, you know, take things day to day, but also plan for the future, of course. Be in the moment, enjoy the time that we have right now. We're never going to get this moment back, but then also think about the future and like what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, and how you want to grow, how you want to contribute to your community, the people around you. So all those things were just like spiraling, you know, during this period of time. So I really enjoyed it. I'll put a list of places I've been to. If anyone needs recommendations as well, places to go, like things to do, like how did I do that? How did I travel here? Like, why did I feel comfortable? Like, what do you need to be like safe? All those things I can answer questions. So my trip looked like I went to Istanbul, Turkey first, and then went to Athens, Greece, went to Lisbon, Portugal, went to Morocco, Marrakech, and went to Kyrgyzstan, Bishkek, went to Almaty, Kazakhstan, went to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, went to Tajikistan, went to Georgia in Europe. No one get mad at me, the Caucasus area. Went to China, actually, China is huge, humongous, love China. Beijing, Shanghai, Chongqing, and Hong Kong, which is like a special region. Not really quite China, but also kind of China. No one get mad at me. And then went to South Korea, went to Vietnam, Quoc, and finally went to Singapore. So roughly 13 countries. Crazy, mostly Asia. Didn't really know too many languages. A huge part of Central Asia speaks a lot of Russian, and the other part, China, of course, right? So anyway, I would just dive a little bit away from that and talk a little bit more about like the future, where things are headed. So, you know, what's next, right? So I'm back on YouTube. I'm going to be documenting everything. I think this is just like my way of like finding, you know, like I said earlier, right? A foundation, like something to kind of anchor me to like, you know, a sense of purpose, direction, and a community of people that think, you know, that think about ideas, right? And are open to sharing ideas and want to talk about ideas. So that's what I want to put myself around. And I kind of want to put myself in the practice of documenting things, talking about ideas out loud, and seeing how other people respond to it, start conversations with people, you know, build relationships with people, get business partners potentially. So, you know, we'll talk more about business in a while, but just throwing that out there. I'm actually looking for a new editing tool, preferably something with AI. I would want to be able to kind of, I guess, put clips together, audio and video, but then have some help with AI, of course, to make it a little bit easier, save me time. Also throw in B-roll potentially and take long form video into short form video. That would be nice. If anyone has any recommendations, my current thought is Descript. But if anyone has anything better, let me know. I would love to know. And I also am considering live streaming, especially like work stuff. I'll talk about that in a bit. So, you know, what's next, right? What is next? You know, how am I going to make an income? How am I going to make a living? You know, especially not having a job, being unemployed. So that's what the big question is right now. You know, you, like me, probably have an insane pressure, you know, to provide for yourself and your family and your friends and etc. You know, me, I'm like you in that way. So I got to kind of figure that thing out, right? Right now I have a startup. It's called VenueBox. And we're trying to build, you know, an ecosystem, a community of people that are hosting private events like weddings, birthdays, baby showers, and, you know, any other private event you could think of, corporate events, that kind of thing. So, that's kind of what I've been trying to dabble on for a while now. And we owned a venue. So I say we, myself and my business partner, we actually owned a venue for about 2 years in Chicago where we did host all of these types of events. And then, being the computer nerds we are, we decided to build an operating system for our business to help us save time. That did marketing, prospecting, qualifying people that were going to host events with us. And then, helping us operate in the backgrounds to make sure like people are getting reminders and invoices are getting paid, all that kind of stuff, right? So we helped ourselves streamline our business in that way. And, we eventually pivoted from that to helping other people do it instead of doing it ourselves. Actually, we closed down our own venue. But that's just a lifestyle choice, honestly. We were actually looking to scale up into a bigger venue, but it wasn't the right time. And there was a couple question marks in that equation. But then eventually it was like a lifestyle thing. We wanted to travel more. We wanted to work from our computer. We wanted to like do what we do best, which is programming and, doing some marketing online. So we want to work from our computer pretty much. Yeah. So, that's my startup, VenueBox. And, if you know anybody in the venue world, plug us. Not really to like be a customer or anything, but we do want to learn a lot from people. We do want to get connected to people. So it'll be nice. It's always nice when someone makes an introduction to somebody else, because then it drops the question marks a bit about like the uncertainty of the other person you're meeting. So yeah, if anyone knows anybody in that world that, is thinking about these things and they, just want to be around other people that have similar mindsets or, have seen similar things, it'll be good conversation. So, let me know. Yeah. So, I thought about it. Should I apply for a job? Maybe not. I think, everything's hard, like I said, right? The job market's hard. I mean, even if you try to get a job right now, you're going to be applying. And I've seen people apply to hundreds of jobs. I was sitting next to a guy on a plane from Vancouver to Chicago, and he's applied to hundreds of customer success jobs. Hundreds, not kid you not. And he was coming to town to do a conference to apply to more jobs. Yeah, I've heard so many experiences. And yeah, I mean, of course you get a job eventually, like you work hard, you get it done. But then also building a company is hard. I thought about that. Like we've been at this for a long time. We've had one client stay with us since March 2025. So I think that's about like 6 months, maybe. It's October. So yeah, I mean, that's one motivating factor. It's like, okay, maybe we are onto something, right? It's still a question mark, but then, someone depends on the thing that we built, which is interesting to me, right? But yeah, it's not enough to pay the bills or anything. So got to figure that out. So everything's hard. Everything is damn hard. Nothing's easy. So you just got to kind of pick your hard. So that's the thing right now, like we just got to grind. I thought about that today because I've been jet lagged for a little bit now too. And yeah, like you just got to pick your hard. I was kind of like laying down like, oh, I'm not going to move. I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. But then I decided, I just got to get up. I got to get up. I got to get going. I can't blame jet lag or this or that. Like just get up and do stuff. Find motivation, find interest, and get going. So this is what I want to do right now. So I'm putting myself into the driver's seat, of what my passion could be. That could change, but here I am. I'm just gonna show up. The goal is to find Ikigai, some Japanese idea of something you love, something that pays you, something that, fulfills you. It's like this equation of like, that's what everyone's kind of looking for. Excuse me. So yeah, again, I think the biggest thing I'll probably be working on a lot with my YouTube channel is like, of course I would do like, I'll talk about a lot of things, in the past I talked about crypto. That's still there. It's still a big industry. I'll probably make some videos about it. It's pretty big right now. I think Bitcoin is at its all-time high right now too. So I've made a lot of videos about that in the past. You can go on my channel, check it out. I made a lot of videos about Solana, actually a lot. And then I made a lot of videos about real estate. I actually was a real estate agent. I could technically still get my license back if I want to, but I've been away from that world for a bit. But did long-term, short-term rental, so I have some experience there as well. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. So I did a lot of videos about a lot of different things, like being in tech, being a software developer, all those kinds of things. So I'll like figure out how to centralize it back into something that makes sense for people. But right now, I think the big focus would be like on passion points of things that I'm like actively working on, like VenueBox, for example, that community of people that are in the private events world, for example. Those are also entrepreneurs, so those are interesting people. They have multiple things going on. Like some people have a different job, and then the venue is like their side job, but then they also are a photographer as well, and they do that at like other events or different things, right? So these are just people hustling, just living their lives and working hard. So those people are going to be a little bit of like an interest to me. So I'll be exploring like that world a bit. And then also like just in general, entrepreneurs, investors, people that are like thinking about the next thing, people that want to fight for their freedom, people that are tired of, not being happy at their job, for example. I wasn't happy at my job, so I left eventually, right? So yeah, so let's see, man. Let's get going. This is the first of many, and I hope you enjoyed this video because I'm excited about this next run. This is chapter 2. Chapter 2. That's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah. It is a new chapter. I have no expectations. I don't want to pretend. I want to be genuine. I want to be authentic. I want to be myself. I want to build a community of people, and not just build it with myself, but like build it with other people, and grow each other as people, financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, all the good stuff. So, I mean, if you resonate with anything I talked about here today, let me know. Drop me a couple words. I said a lot of words myself. Drop me a couple words. You can even use AI. You can go in Gemini, ChatGPT to type something for you and just throw it in the comment section. Let's get connected. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's work. I'll probably consider doing live streams of like me working as well. So like maybe programming or calling customers or clients that we have. So that kind of stuff. So you'll probably see a little bit of behind the scenes of how I will be building stuff in the next couple of years. So welcome to the journey. Let's go. Anyway, it's your boy Elijah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.